Good morning, it's day 37 on the PCT. It's about 5:30 in the morning, a little after. I'm camped at Eagle Creek. It's about 6:45 and I'm back on trail. You can see behind me, my camp spot was down there. There's the river, heading south. I've got about a mile and a half to Tunnel Falls. This trail is kind of rocky, not too cruisy, but a lot of uphill today, so maybe slow going, but I definitely want to make 20. Would like to do 25 miles. It's about 37 miles to Timberline Lodge. The hope is I do most of those miles today, and then tomorrow I can get into Timberline Lodge for their lunch buffet. There's another waterfall up there, so as I'm hiking, I've got the creek down here, number of waterfalls, and so it's just beautiful, you know, even with the burned trees. Okay, so I got across. There's this log here, but I did a rock hop. It was easy enough. Here's a better view of the falls. Hikers are going through. I'm not 100% sure, but I think these flowered plants are fireweed. And you see them a lot in these burn scars a year or two after the fire. Thinking about these burn scars on the PCT, it's another example of what I was talking about in one of my earlier videos, one of my first videos on the trail, about the sublime. It's the beauty and terror Here, not so much terror, but it's, obviously a forest fire would be an example. A wildfire would be an example of the sublime. Pyromaniacs are obviously attracted to fire, but there is something beautiful about fire. Beautiful and deadly and terrifying and horrifying. I think the terror happens when you're, in the presence of a wildfire. Maybe the horror happens after and you're in the aftermath of the fire. But there's something sublime as well in a burn scar and other issues. I mean, when I was talking before, I was talking about how beauty and terror and awe and ego death, those kinds of ideas wrapped up together in this concept of the sublime. Something lovely and terrible at the same time. And burn scars are like that. I think a lot of our, obviously fire is like that, beautiful and dangerous. A lot of our imaginings of monsters, dragons. Dragons are sublime. They're beautiful and terrifying and deadly and all those things. Dinosaurs too. Of course, dinosaurs were probably the progenitors of dragons, at least to the extent that early civilizations probably encountered dinosaur bones and imagined dragons from them. I'm going to go ahead and cross this as I talk, I think. Just trying to be careful. And some of this is mossy, but that's okay. Yeah, so sublime is not just, things like hiking in dangerous situations or, being in nature, which can be terrifying. But, we imagine things that are sublime. So I think the need to create something like dragons and monsters and things, horrors, we're attracted to, not everybody, but some people are repelled by horrific fictions. Some people are attracted by them, but there is that sense of sublime, even in something like a horror novel. I've written novels, and there's often an aspect of horror or thriller in that, and the thriller is another one. So something like a roller coaster, has a sublime element to it, I think. Here we go with those fire weeds again. Anyway, so being in a bird scar got me thinking about the sublime again and how it, that sense of kind of takes you out of yourself, makes you feel small, all of those things which are often rewarding feelings, sometimes things we need to seek out or we do seek out. And I was just struck today by the beauty of the burn scar. This is one of the more attractive ones that I've been through. Sometimes, depending on my mood, I can get depressed. But, with all this life coming back, and it's morning, and I just saw the tunnel falls, I'm having a good morning. It's still cool, so part of it's my mood. But having a good hike this morning, even through the burn scars. Just got to the sunny side of the hill here, and it's pretty hot. 9:30 in the morning. Just came up this steep climb, probably the steepest thing I've seen since Devil's Stairway near the border, and that had snow. This is probably easier to climb than to go down, because going down you're more likely to slip. It's leveling out a little bit here. Climbing, although it's more work, you're facing the hill. It's easier to be more deliberate with your footsteps when you're stepping down on this kind of sandy gravel dirt. It's not a very reliable surface. Very easy for your feet to slip out from under you as you're stepping down. And met a couple of people going oboe who were kind of slipping, sliding down that section. Made it up to the Eagle Creek Junction. So I think I'm going to be getting back on the regular PCT. There's a picnic table over there, so I think I'm going to go over there and have a brunch. Happy to report that the huckleberries are coming in, but I don't think they'll last. Nope. So there's rumor of trail magic at the highway at Lolo Pass, which is just past these power lines. And then I saw on far out that it might be a guy I know doing the trail magic. Right time. Well, let's see. It looks like the highway. Signed attention hikers. Already seen that one. There is a vehicle here. Might be right time. Okay, so there was trail magic, and was right time providing it. A friend I met in Trout Lake, sodas, left out some sodas. Also added my trash to the trash bin there. Unfortunately, I guess right time is on borrowed time because he was sleeping in his van. I didn't want to wake him because he had the blackout curtains and stuff. So I didn't say hi to him. I did get the trail magic. I think there's a decent chance I might see him again. So, right time, if you're watching this, thanks for the trail magic. Greatly appreciated. I'm doing a little night hiking, but it's not quite dark on Mount Hood. So I'll be there tomorrow morning or afternoon. And I gotta use my headlamp for the forest here. Okay, it's about 9:30. I think I'm gonna set up my tent here. It's about the flattest one I found around here. There's probably enough tent sites for 7 or 8 people in the area. This is near a junction, and there is one person tenting about 0.2 miles up, so didn't want to tent too close to them. This will be my spot, and it's, like I say, about 9:30. I'm gonna set up my tent, let it dry a little bit because it was wet last night, and get a bite to eat.